Big flex. Be the dope you want to smoke. Steam on your life. Love y'all first and foremost. I come from a space of love that is not digital, that is not provoked by likes, that is not provoked by followers, but generated inside me. I want to address the new flex on peace, God. I want to address the new flex on on Instagram with this COVID thing, man. Like, what is that? Like, yo, the gift that you were given in this realm is choice. Choice is your ally. It's your superpower. Decisiveness is a part of that, obviously. But the choice is the action. To decide is internal. Analyze, think about what's going on, and then you act upon it. If you are given a slew of information, it seems to make itself true because it's true because of its consistency. But that's not where you find truth. It's not in necessarily consistency. You'll find the truth of the thing within consistency, but truth, like the thing that aligns with love, honesty, reality, that comes from a special place. That comes from your personal responsibility in this realm. I don't want to say planet, whatever. And if you're not given the opportunity to make your own decisions, then the decisions that you make are really aren't real. It's not based on ancestral sauce. You know what I mean? Peace. So I just wanted to reflect on the censorship of individuals on this platform that express themselves to the level of, we might use the Black Lives Matter idea, but it's beyond just that. This is human life, and this is human choice and decision, and respecting those decisions. That's reality. That's love. That's truth. And anything beyond that, it tells you that you need to do this because you're held responsible because of another individual's irresponsibilities is off. Think about just in your household. Not all households are perfect, but there is a lay of the land. There's a way of doing things in certain environments. In every environment, there's a way of doing things, a way you have to move. You can't, if you are the master of your own time and space, you understand how to navigate through all realms. And you understand that you're not one. You're not the only thing here. So there are things that when you're the flow of the water, you're going to hit a rock, you're going to hit the shore. It's going to give you flux. And you have to learn how to adjust to that flux in your truth. Not in what is being manipulated, a conduit, a dam, to put you into a space of stagnicity. So I use this poetic form just to describe that it's weird that Instagram is censoring individuals like myself, Rizza Islam, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., excuse me. But then they make a campaign about getting vaccinated. So they could push an agenda on something specifically that other people are talking differently of. That's not a space of debate, which is what we live in. We should, as a community, have an allowance to express ourselves at a higher level of personality. But conflict in debate is just to find resolution. But conflict in this physical sense that we're standing on emotions and then expressing ourselves is why there's censorship. It's because that feeling that we have, that truth that we're feeling, intuition that we're feeling, has to be buffered by a main narrative. And that main narrative is always spoken fear. And what have I said before? Fear is not truth. It's not reality. There's no love existence in fear. And the only reason why that is because fear is misinformation. Fear is distraction. Fear puts your mind with an ideal that you haven't seen to be true, but you think it is true. And now they reinforce it with actions that are unreachable to you. So I won't say 9/11 is unreachable to you, but it's in a sensibility of the narrative that they put behind that is fear-based. There was no empowerment. There was combatants. Because individuals do things, but the whole house shouldn't be responsible for it. But the house has to hold responsibility. So you damage control. We don't burn down houses because one individual expresses or acts upon their own volition. That means that they've come out of order of what is respected, what they've come up in. And where it gets tricky here is that we've come up in something that has been manipulated for a long time to make you feel like you are alone. And you have never been alone. You've been so much more connected than you realize. You start to see it now in your life because you take action as a being, and that being starts to see availability and happiness and harmony, so it starts to flex that, and then that habit is created. But that habit has been there before this physical body has existed. That celebration of your essence has been there since the creation of creation, since the thought of existence. We want to exist, so boop, as we are. So I just, want people to, or I encourage people to, in fact, my kindred, to just be decisive, be vocal. If you feel like how I feel, don't stand alone on those thoughts. Collect. Be the water. Collect together so that we can create an actual vibration. It's a beautiful thing to stand strong. You can be a strong individual, but everything that is dope is created in a collective. Big facts. Everything that is dope, that you see that is dope, is created in a collective. And the only time you see something fall is when one man tries to take grip of that on its own. It's too much for one man to hold, even when it's coming from one place. A brother like me, I produce music. I'm a culinary artist and an herbalist, just to say the least, right? In order for me to manifest those things on a hyper scale, on a grander scale, I would obviously need people to assist me to creating a platform or creating the availability. If I'm the person that creates it and can do it, then I need people to help me to travel that thing so that it becomes reality for others, not just for the ones that can see it. I can't see China, but yet I know China exists. So, but how do I know China exists? There's people of the land that have expressed it, have represented it. And that's important, to find people that are willing to be a part of your campaign, and accept that it's your campaign. You see, we lose ourselves because it's like, oh wait, I thought we're supposed to be collective. I thought we're supposed to be individuals. There's a confusion. It's all harmony. The one is a collective. The rainbow is a collection of different light spectrums. Each light spectrum gives off its own vibration, its own energy, has its own existence and frequency, but yet together represent something greater when they're aligned. And it produces that. Like, we see blue light energy all around us, but we're not identifying blue light energy until it's next to these other light spectrums where we can say, shit, you see that blue, you see that yellow, you see that orange? And then we're there. then we understand the harmony. It's all around us. We just got to be a little bit more aggressive with wanting, desiring truth, not needing it, having some kind of horrorism to it, but knowing that you are entitled. It is your birthright to make choice. It is your birthright to breathe. That right there, you came in here, that was the first gift. That was the first gift, was your breath. Your breath helps you to identify and ground. With that grounding, you can start to create, fathom from your collective perspective. But unfortunately, we are finding ourselves in collectives such as these platforms, and sit in these platforms and agree on things that are being manipulated, that we, other than what we're doing right here, shit look real shiny, and Instagram puts it up all nice, and it provokes us either to do what they're suggesting to do, or to talk about it, much like I'm doing now, but to talk about it in a sense of the they and the fear. We don't talk about fear. If we don't want to be in fear, the only time we discuss fear is how to identify it to then clear it up. It's the only time we're going to speak about it. You don't speak about the opposition unless it's to confront the opposition. Yo, we heading over here. These cats is over here. This is their regiment. This is their discipline, and this is how we need to approach. Or if best or worst, because of our discipline and how we move, this is how we will be approached, and this is our options. You know what I mean? So it's tribal, it's collective, it's harmonious, and it's something that I know for being personal in this country that we are not gifted with information to have. We're not educated in that sense of that true unity. We only get in the sense of unity when it's like, yo, somebody hit you, come on, let's go jump them. And it's like, what? It's like, what? You know how many other things we need to use that power for? That we need to be collective for? All right, cool. So let's do that. I feel like these times are very, very present for us. The availability of the ear is very available for us now. We have opportunity that if you have something to say, and I've been prepped and pushed in this direction by many people that I speak to on a daily basis to express more. And there are those that are seeing this space and they're like, yo, I got something to say too. It's important for us to all say it. But there has to be a forum. There has to be a reality, a truth. Censorship doesn't allow us to have that truth. It goes into all types of politics beyond Democrat and Republican. It goes into like dictatorships. It goes into communism. Because when you're telling the people what they're allowed to do, and don't get it twisted, when you're in a government, when you got people running shit on any level, you're going to have to do things a certain way. There's going to be a regimen. There's going to be a way of. But this way of is not supposed to take from people in such a scale where now their children and their children's children are being affected by that, and it's not wealthy. It's not going to improve. There's a lot of things to be said about vaccination in general, on animals, and the side effects. So we really, as a collective family, if you have love and light in your life, have to have those real discussions. You have to have a tribe that is willing to agree and disagree with you and stand with that. You can't stand alone in this space anymore. You are not that. You're not the boss. Ooh, the boss. They into that shit. Leave the days alone. We're not thinking about the days. We can identify those days. Not on this platform. It's not necessary. They censor the platform. I could say certain names on here and it'll just go choof, because they have computers that are listening to it that say, oh shit, he said this, this, and this, and this collection. It's time to shut this down. It's happened many times before. Peace, Gil. How are you? And that's why the revolution won't be televised, seriously. That's why the next flow of things, I meet you in the streets. We did Sanctuary Sunday yesterday, and the beautiful people that I come to meet were people that come and gravitate to me. And they have their own lives and their own greatness, and now that greatness is a part of my life because I'm able to give them something that I've created from the inside, and they're available for it. We don't need too much more beyond that. It's beautiful to connect with people across the world. Go and connect with them actually in their space. This, we're going to have to use very, very beautifully while we still got it. And I say while we still have it because a brother like me don't have control over it, where the only thing I would censor is the fear-based man. Things have to be censored. This is true. But when it comes to levels of you feel people or you see people saying, ow, ow, this hurts me, they're expressing themselves to such a level and then you shut it down, we living in a prison state. The guards don't want to hear that. They don't care that you are in pain. You're in jail. So it's just something to think about. Something to really just reflect upon. Because peace, sister, peace. How you feeling? It's something to reflect upon because it's not, I don't get into that spooky shit and they put you all in this mental space of fear. I want you to be empowered by what I say and you make that change in your personal life. Of course there are going to be people that are going to try and violate you and say things and all this, but your response is the most powerful thing you have. The perspective that you keep on dealing with these things is very, 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 very critical to your success forward. How to maneuver is important. The stubborn rock is not going to move water, so you must move around it. But when it's trying to collect and erode the rock, you're not alone. You're with a collective of your kindred, and you are creating erosion. The droplet on a micro scale creates erosion, but it's not seen. True greatness comes from the collective, comes from harmony. You hear the note, but you feel the vibration of the three-part harmony. You hear the bong, oh, that's a C, but you feel a chord of C. Oh, full, absolute. Each individual note is standing and representing for the other in order to create this thing beyond themselves. Whoa. You feel me? Let's get some hearts for that, because I love myself for that. You heard? Thank you. I appreciate y'all. And it's all about you, just so you can get to the us. It's the most important thing in life. Peace to everybody that's in the room. It's the most important thing in life, is to get to the collective. Be with your kindred. Become powerful. You're powerful solo. And that's another dynamic of the connection that you have with all. It's beautiful. Take a walk with me one day and see how I respond to animals, birds, and children. See how the inanimate objects just flow around me. It could be a bench. The bench is perfectly there for me. No water. It could be all those other benches, wet. But this is your reality as well. This is when you get in tune with yourself enough to be like, yo, I'm flowing and going. And it takes time to get there. And you have to be in your head and see this existence in order for it to be the reality that you're walking in. You feel me? Be the dope you want to smoke. Steam on life. You are the master of your own time and space and the embodiment of infinite possibilities. This tells you everything. You're the master of your own time and space. And you embody anything Infinite possibilities. That means that all the possibilities I thought and more. Ashe, Chiname, you know the flex. And you say New York City. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Live. And join us on Sanctuary Sunday because we turning up. Love.